All right, let's talk about why I switched from Android to iPhone a few months ago as a resident physician. The number one reason that I switched from Android to iPhone was because of the ability to put in orders on Epic. This was just such a key functionality that was missing on a Samsung device or an Android device that I absolutely needed to increase my efficiency and ability to provide patient care in the hospital. This is all because in the Apple ecosystem, app developers only need to make one app in order to kind of fill in this entire ecosystem. Whereas with Android phones, it's so much more difficult for them to make optimized apps for every single different phone manufacturer. And so functionality is often just a lot worse on those apps. And so the Epic Haiku app is able to put in orders while you're on an iPhone, but not on an Android, and that was a complete game changer. What were some of the other benefits of switching to an iPhone, you might ask? So first of all, iMessage and Facetime have been absolutely incredible. I really enjoy the quality of Facetime, and the fact that iMessage just works so seamlessly is really nice. You know, if you're an Android user and you're with your friends in their group chats, they're always gonna be angry at you for having the green text message or whatever. And when I was on the Android, the thing that I noticed is that a lot of times they would be sending stuff to each other and my texts from them would all be delayed. It was getting really annoying and I was feeling like I was going to be missing out on certain texts. The quality of phone calls is actually a lot better on iPhone compared to my Samsung Note 9. I remember back in the day, sometimes I'd really be struggling to hear what people were saying, but now with the iPhone, things actually really do just sound a lot more clear. And that seems like a small thing, but actually it does make a big difference when you're making a phone call and you're not having to struggle to hear what they're saying. And in general, things on Apple just seem to run smoother than on my Note 9. And that's just making the experience so much more pleasurable and pleasant and enjoyable. The sound effects and the haptics really feel good. And lastly, I just like the size of the iPhone 12 more than my Samsung Note 9. I think over time, the Note 9 was getting a little bit too bulky for me. I thought it was too large. And now this more reasonably sized iPhone 12 just fits a lot nicer in my pocket and in my hand. All right, so now let's talk about some of the things that I miss from Android. Number one is dark mode. I mean, come on, Apple, it's 2021 and you can't implement a normal dark mode. Literally every time I go online, I'm going on Chrome or whatever, they got all these pseudo dark modes that don't actually work in reality. And so you're reading websites at night and you're just having this blaring light shining in your eyes. It's very tough. The other thing that I miss is YouTube Vanced, which is this app that you can download on Android devices, and it basically acts like YouTube Red, where you can minimize YouTube and still have it playing in the background, and you can also lock your phone and still have the music playing, and you also don't get any ads. So having that app was a very nice quality of life, especially when using YouTube a lot. Another app that I miss is one that's called BlockSite, and this one was so much more powerful than iPhone's ScreenTime because BlockSite could actually lock you out of a website after 15 minutes or something, whereas ScreenTime will lock you out, but you literally just have to click one little button that says extend for the rest of the day, and then you can just keep using it infinitely. So BlockSite was so much more effective. It had a very complicated password if you wanted to unlock it. And you know, there's just some design choices that Apple has made that have been questionable, and ScreenTime I think is one of them. Like, why is it so easy to undo ScreenTime? One common reason that people cite as a reason they like Android more than iPhones is the notifications. And I somewhat agree with this. This is not really a big deal to me because I think on iPhone it works fine, but having that little notification light, which basically lets you know what kind of notification it is, even without having to, you know, tap on your phone to look at the screen, it is kind of a nice little feature and something that I think Apple would kind of benefit from having. Google Messages was another huge one because I have a PC and being able to send text messages while typing on my PC was huge. And now I think Apple is just like trapping me into their ecosystem and really convincing me to potentially buy a Mac in the near future, just so I can use iMessages on my computer. It's such a nice functionality to be able to send text messages via typing on your keyboard. And then some other things that were nice, but maybe not quite as important to me, were the widgets and customizability, which people really cite as a big reason they prefer Android. The expandable storage, which right now I'm really feeling because I accidentally was stupid and got the 64 gigabyte model of the iPhone. The always on display, which I didn't really use, but I could see some people really liking that. And finally, the Stylus of the Note 9, which I did use for a little bit and I thought it was fun to use and it was kind of quirky and also you could take notes with it. I thought it was going to be really good for medical school rotations because you could look like you were actually doing work on your phone rather than texting or typing typing or goofing off or something. But in reality, the use of the stylus was pretty limited. Anyways, that was my quick summary of the pros and cons of switching from Android to iPhone as a resident physician. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also let me know what you thought or the most useful things about switching to iPhone, or what things you liked from Samsung or Androids. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.